Hi again. Walter Rauschenbusch, Christianity and the Social Crisis, page 372, in his last chapter, What to Do? The creation of customs and institutions. When the social activity of the church is discussed, it is usually assumed that the churches are to influence legislation and to watch over the execution of the laws. The churches are within their rights in doing both. There are probably few denominations which would hesitate a moment to fling their full force on a legislature if the tenure of their property or the freedom of their church administration were threatened. If it is right to lobby in their own behalf, it cannot well be wrong to lobby on behalf of the people. But we have an exaggerated idea of the importance of laws. Our legislative bodies are the greatest law factories the world has ever seen. Our zest for legislation blinds us to the subtle forces behind and beyond the law. Those influences which really make and mar human happiness and greatness are beyond the reach of the law. The law can compel a man to support his wife, but it cannot compel him to love her. And what are $10 a week to a woman whose love lies in broken shards at her feet? The law can compel a father to provide for his children and can interfere if he maltreats them, but it cannot compel him to give them that loving fatherly intercourse which puts backbone into a child forever. The law can keep neighbors from trespassing, but it cannot put neighborly courtesy and goodwill into their relations. The state can establish public schools and hire teachers, but it cannot put enthusiasm and moral power into their work. Yet those are the qualities which distinguish the few true teachers to whom we look back in after years as the real makers of our lives. The highest qualities and influences are beyond the law and must be created elsewhere. The law is a moral agency, as effective and as rough as a policeman's club, sweeping in its operation and unable to adjust itself to individual needs and the finer shadings of moral life. It furnishes the stiff skeleton of public morality, which supports the finer tissues, but these tissues must be deposited by other forces. The state is the outer court of the moral law. Within stands the sanctuary of the spirit. Religion creates morality, and morality then deposits a small part of its contents in written laws. The state can protect the existing morality and promote the coming morality, but the vital creative force of morality lies deeper. The law becomes impotent if it is not supported by a diffused, spontaneous moral impulse in the community. If religion implants love, mutual helpfulness, and respect for the life and rights of others, there will be little left to do for the law and its physical force. The stronger the silent moral compulsion of the community, the less need for the physical compulsion of the state. If parents have to resort to physical punishment constantly, it furnishes presumptive evidence that their training has been defective in its moral factors. If we have to order out the militia frequently to quell riots and protect property, it constitutes a charge of inefficiency against the religious and educational institutions of the community. Thus it is clear that the church has a large field for social activity before touching legislation. It cannot make laws, but it can make customs. Of what avail are laws without customs? Our two words, morals and ethics, the one from the Latin and the other from the Greek, both mean that which is customary. There is a singular lack of appreciation in American thought for the importance of custom, possibly because in our new and plastic life, customs are less rigid and formative than anywhere on earth. Yet our life too is ruled largely by unenacted laws. Our helpfulness toward children and old people, our respect for womanhood and the consequent unparalleled freedom of woman's social intercourse, the comparative disappearance of profanity and obscenity from conversation, those were the days 1907. All this rests on custom and not on law, and these customs are in large part a product of purified modern religion. The disappearance of alcoholic liquors from the homes of great strata of our people is in most localities due to custom rather than law. Religion first demanded it, and educational, scientific, and economic motives have since reinforced the custom. Religion first created the custom of Sunday rest, and the law then protected it. The weekly rest day is a gift of religion to the people. If it was not already so firmly established in our life, it would be almost impossible to rest one full day from the whirl of modern commercialism. Oh, for those days. The law did not create Sunday rest, neither is it able to maintain its finer qualities. It can prohibit work, but it cannot prescribe how the day shall be spent. It is entirely feasible for the church to mitigate the social hardships of the working classes by lending force to humane customs. Its help would make the Saturday half-holiday in summer practicable. It could ease the strain of the Christmas shopping season. It could secure seats in restrooms for the girls in the department stores. It could counteract the tendency of tenement owners to crowd the people. It could encourage employers in making a place for their aged employees to discourage the early exploitation of children. A single, frank, and prayerful discussion of one of these questions in a social meeting of the church or its societies would create more social morality and good custom than many columns in the newspapers. Such an activity would not solve the fundamental questions of capitalism, but it would ease the pressure a little, and would save the people from deterioration, while the social movement is moving toward the larger solution. I'll put in a link to the Sabbath principle. Vivian has thought a lot about that and did a couple of videos on it. This is one of them, the Sabbath principle, and how we have tried to apply it in our family life.